In year ending with July 2017, New Zealand has had approximately 3.7 million tourists enter their country. This is about 79% of their current population and a 9% increase in tourists from the previous year. The U.S. alone had an increase of tourists to New Zealand by 24%. How has this increased tourism affected New Zealand?
It's exploded in the last 10 years, right? New Zealand's always been a pleasant place to go, but New Zealand, I guess, is seen as a really safe location now. Combined with that, the fact that you've still got the environmental piece, the pure, clean, green New Zealand, the tourist numbers have exploded to the point where now it's our biggest earner.
In May of 2017, we traveled to New Zealand and got first-hand experience with New Zealand's tourism industry. We visited various farmers and businesses while touring the North and South Islands to gain information on how tourism affects their economy and agriculture. One of the places we visited was Mount Nicholas Station, an authentic sheep station near Queenstown.
This is a working high country station. There's not too many properties that are working high country stations, particularly of the size and scale of this place, that people can actually come and stay on. There's nothing artificial about it. It's the real deal. Like if you see sheepdogs here, they're working sheepdogs. The shepherds are working shepherds. So it is authentic and it's real, and that's a huge attraction for a lot of people. It's pretty cool to stay on a property like this.
There are many opportunities in New Zealand for people to expand their businesses through tourism. Many farmers have expanded their businesses into farm stays and tours, which have benefited them immensely. Mount Nicholas Station has started a whole new business to allow people to visit as a tourist destination. This business also helps support their farming operation.
The tourism part of the business is run as a separate company, but it all goes into the pot at the end of the day, and a lot of it helps with infrastructure upgrades on the station. And while farming is certainly the main income stream, the tourism dollars that we generate does make it easier to do infrastructure upgrades that you would maybe think, should we do it or shouldn't we do it?
Likewise, another farmer in New Zealand has benefited from tourism on his property. He realized that the waterfall on his farm could be turned into a tourist attraction. He made walkways to the isolated waterfall, and since then it has been a great addition to his business. One of the greatest success stories of farmers making the most of tourism in New Zealand is of the Hobbiton attraction. Hobbiton was originally a sheep farm that was transformed into a movie set for The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Fans now travel from all over the world to visit the movie set, and the farm is still operating today.
Although there are many advantages of increased tourism in New Zealand, there are still some challenges the country has to face.
We are struggling to keep up. There aren't enough hotels, there aren't enough motels, there aren't enough caravans and camper vans to house everyone with, particularly in peak seasons. The tourism cycle now no longer has a peak and trough, it's just flat out all the time. And as a result, our amenities are really struggling to keep up. We've seen things like the explosion of what we call freedom campers. So people turn up and they get into a self-contained camper van and they drive around New Zealand on a self-drive tour. And they'll park on the side of a lake or somewhere like that, and there aren't the amenities there for those people to use, toilet blocks, ablution blocks, restaurants, places to get food, those sorts of things. Where do they put their waste?
Along with concerns of freedom camping and the need for additional infrastructure, for island nations like New Zealand, biosecurity is an important topic of discussion. New Zealand controls what comes into their country through border checks at the airports and shipping ports. The country has proactively invested a lot of money and energy into biosecurity checkpoints. For example, when a fruit fly entered the country, they spent millions of dollars to make sure this was the only fruit fly in the country, and they luckily succeeded. The fruit fly could have been detrimental to their farming practices, so they had to make sure it had not reproduced or arrived with any others. This quick reaction to this seemingly small problem proves that Kiwis value biosecurity.
Overall, New Zealand is very proud of their tourism industry and wants to keep expanding it. They see great potential and want to keep sharing their idea of a clean, green environment with everyone who visits. Even with the few challenges that they continue to combat, New Zealand will remain a positive model for other countries to resemble. We are eager to see what the future of New Zealand's agricultural tourism holds and expect it will be one of success.
Agritourism is a lot more than a bed and breakfast. It consists of tourists coming to a farm, showing them around, giving them a bed, giving them breakfast.